We are playing at Maokai jungle. We saw it in the top lane as well. I hated it last split. I still hate it now. It could be support. Tom Kench top, maybe?
It's not. It's going to be
do great if you can gank into her. But hold that thought, because we've got a big play in this mid lane. Fofo is the target. There's a beautiful play. Forge with this. I don't know, man. This is the problem I had last split as well. I felt like just give King and something like the Aatrox. Give me something where he can really impact the fights, where he can really...
Back in spring, a lot of teams didn't actually care too much about them. It was more about stacking up a lot of one.
Yeah, well, iBoy trying to get some arrows out here. Kingan's in from behind. There's a nice smite from BLG, though. His best gets the dragon. Now roots across the team, and it's a bit of a chaotic fight. iBoy's still surviving, and he's got one. He's got two for himself. Wings now in trouble as Forge looks to finish that kill off, and Ike's still here. iBoy survived, and nothing that Kingan can do. A double kill for Q. When you're Vici, you're happy to lose an Infernal Drake if it means that you get to blast through the mid-tier 1 at 12 minutes into the game.
Think about it. It's almost better. You lose the Drake, you get a bunch of...
Syndra, especially when she gets 2 items, your heal's not going to do much. Syndra's still just going to burst you out. Here we go, fight into Cataclysm comes on through. Cube getting a knock-up onto Shinmo. He's trying to save Fofo's life, but Cube was just waiting. Shinmo will fall, although keeps himself alive with the thick skin. Cube finishes the kill off. Now Kingan in from the side. Ikes is behind the pit right here. But importantly, Vici are not really in a position to team fight. Oh, no way.
That was so scary. Onto numerous members.
But now that Rift Herald finally going to be used, and it was
especially since we did just see Vici end up using the Herald.
We were wrong. We've got to fight his Kingan that's been caught out here. That was really weird. He kind of got stuck in the air there for a second, but realistically, there's no way out of this one. He will just be finished off with the Rend. iBoy grabbing the kill. Dragon is up in 35 seconds. And, scatter the weak onto 2. Can't quite follow up, though. Wings is in trouble. Cataclysm's there, but Shinmo keeps him safe. Kingan the target on the front line right now. True shot across everyone. Ike splashes away. iBoy gets one, and down goes Shinmo as well. Flash for the knockup. Ooh, Wings barely gets away with his life. And Fofo, not a whole lot he can do about this one. Might be able to finish him off with a paddle star, but there's iBoy with the Fate's Call.
2 item points. Also interesting that he's not going that Iceborne Gauntlet route that we've seen a lot of players go, but Fofo's hoping they make a mistake, but they could just throw out those skills and...
Well, they've at least found a talent for themselves, so across spring and summer, not a good look. Vici this year, 9th in spring. If they can make playoffs in summer, this year is a success. Even if they finish 8th in playoffs, it's still a massive success for them as an organization.
I agree. They one step
inhibitor.
Up. I guess Vici don't need to force a Baron when Kingan is just going to leave bot side unattended.
Uh-oh, Cube. I mean... oh, he gets away with it. I mean, he's still going to go down ultimately here. I don't think there's any way.
But Vici
is he going to get a kill onto Olaf here? He might actually finish off a kill. Oh, Best just gets away with it.
Baron, though.
Yes, they absolutely do. Kingan teleporting across, or it might be Wings. No, it is Kingan in the end, but the Rend is going to be here. Smite nowhere nearby. This is going to be a Baron for Vici Gaming. Beautifully played.
Bot as Kingan just decided to group with this team and try to find a pick. Created all that space for Vici to do it. And this is the pushing power they need to start inching into that BLG base.
And this is, I mean, again, the Maokai from Kingan. He doesn't feel comfortable on the Maokai. It doesn't feel like a great pick. I want to see Kingan being able to flex his muscles, being able to make something happen. It feels like if Kingan doesn't have any kill threat, doesn't have any way to create pressure himself, doesn't feel like he has much of an impact on the game.
Also, after this game, I don't know if Meteor had a huge role in shot calling in the previous iteration, you know, with him in the lineup, but they were way more patient when he was in the roster. So if they're going to go with this iteration with best 16 and Wings in, it feels like they need to play a more... I do agree, basically a rookie player, but of course has...
Bounty. He's looking amazing on the Kalista.
He's looked great at knowing his limits on this champion against what's right in front of him.
And that's really important because that was one of his big weaknesses in spring. He consistently in spring was getting caught out of position, being punished.
when we see Meteor and Olaf, or like King are neck in some games.
Ooh.
There.
Pull from Hung. They're going to try and force the fight. Fofo knocked up in the depth charge through the entire team. Everybody knocked up and knocked around, and BLG can't do diddly squats in this one. It's going to be the game going the way of Vici Gaming. They play the patient game, and it pays off massive.
They were 10K gold up Munchables. That's all the analysis you need. iBoy flashing forward aggressively, and like you said, it should be a win here.
Well, unfortunately, best 16. There's 17 teams in this league, and you got to be better than the very best of them. Vici stepping on forwards with a 14-1 scoreline and a 12K gold lead as they round out game 1.
You're going to do fine because Twisted
Yes!
Yeah, so we're seeing Kingen on a champion that he's known for in solo queue, does well on, is going to look to...
This game not going for the new build with Grasp and with the Frozen Mallet. We've got to fight in the mid lane though. Fofo's in trouble. Flashes away and the flashes to follow. First blood for Ikes.
You know what's really...
We've already got first blood and these battles in the bottom lane as well.
Gold card?
There's no teleport. There's no flash, sorry, from Forge. There's a flash from Best though, as he's going to be able to finish this kill off with one more auto.
Of course, Umbral Glaive just much cheaper than Mallet.
We've got another 1v1 going on. Cube turns it around after the cooldowns are down from King, and he wants to go for the kill. Both on 100 HP here. Cube the one. You don't feel so fine as Cube, though, because he could be in serious trouble right now. The minions are going to be there. Kingen tanking up the tower for now. He's actually going to commit to this one. Hextech Ultimatum keeps him alive for now, but there's a Tom Kench, and Kingen, you're going to go down on this one. Another auto, and Cube takes. If Best could have tanked the tower after the Hextech Ultimatum, I think Kingen can finish him off and escape.
And when the game comes to scaling, we definitely favor the side of the
moment where everything kicks off. Destiny
Everyone's
on
here.
cooldown right now. But as you rightly say, BLG have all moved on up. Ike steps on in.
Oh!
Oh, he just steals it away. It's not even stealing. He just literally took it like a candy from a baby. Shinmo going to be rooted. That's going to be a nice face call to keep him safe. But Fofo's gone a little too far forward. Slowed on up. Can't quite finish it. Dawning Shadow across everyone. They're so low. Ikes is desperate to finish anyone off.
As a support, are you influencing the map is so massive, and Hung's been doing it great.
Oh, to the skies out of Cube. Denies Kingen's escape. Honestly, Cube, that was just... There you go.
And Vici picking up the second dragon of the game, so not only do they outscale, but they are also...
He's looking kind of similar.
Right, that's the weird part. In game 1, that's actually not what happened. It's that they drafted a comp that if they did that, they probably maybe could have won.
Oh, yeah, true.
Then they did the opposite.
I mean, mostly they kind of stayed.
We're getting
Here we go. Kingen's onto Forge. Hextech Ultimatum means he cannot go anywhere. And a nice easy pickup. Third Drake. This is going to be Ocean Soul Point.
Ocean Soul. So we're going to have Ocean Soul
against the Graves. I don't feel like they should have had pure control of every single neutral
in this game. Don't feel like they're actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's so good. Destiny coming through. Here we go. Play onto Cube in the bottom side. Hextech Ultimatum once again. Dawning Shadow keeps him alive, and Kingen's actually getting low. Here comes Forge, and they might just turn this one around. There's a kill for the Kassadin, and he's going to make it 2 as well. Now into the rest of the fight as iBoy dishing out damage onto Wings, but he's stunned and taken down himself. Out on the magical journey, but shut down by Ikes, and Shinmo has nowhere to run. I don't think there's any CC available. Oh! He eats him at the last possible second. A double
kill. Right, with like kind of the 3D macro chest of where we have King and Split pushing in the side lane. It's like, okay, cool. Wait, well.
Oh. And Wings on the Callista actually looks okay. Here we go. Cube stunned up. Is the Destiny going to be used? But no real follow-up as Ike's now going to go in. And iBoy's here to follow up. Hung can't really get into the fight, though. It's 4v5 right now. Shield across the team. Ike's low, but walks away with his life. Ooh. Nice kill onto Forge, though, and suddenly things are turning around. I've flamed Fofo a good amount during this cast, but he has unsealed Spellbook. He went...
Especially, I think a Caston's a good one where...
Ooh, hang on. Fofo gets a stun onto Hung. Ikes is going to be kept alive, but it's Hung that's in trouble. Gray skin, but he actually dodges away from that one. Kingen can't finish off the kill. He's onto Forge now. So the shields come on through. Wings trying to do the damage. Vici hold on, though. Nobody falls down in the end.
That fight had a lot going on, and actually it's probably not going to end.
Here we go, back on in. Forge stunned up, though, and denied for a second fight. The last one in is going to be the winner. Cube here getting onto King, and Fofo moves down to try and help his top laner, but it's not going to work out at all. Fofo, obviously it would have been 2v1. Fofo's in trouble. To the Skies comes on in, and he's used 2 abilities. That's all a Twisted Fate's down. Oh, early here from Fofo. And he can't commit to going in here. This is going to be Ocean Soul given to Vici now. And surely the fight off the back of that, it's such a huge advantage. They're all going through the magical journey. Dawning Shadow, and Wings has fallen already. King and tries to turn it back onto iBoy, but he just doesn't have the damage. He's going to go down as Forge ain't finished just yet. He wants more kills. He wants himself a quadra kill. And this is all about Vici. The Summer team is real.
And Forge was just practicing those last engages for this moment. Dead timers are long enough. Vici can just push the base.
Koma's dream is coming true, and it's a 2-0 here in favor of Vici Gaming. BLG fall apart at the last moment, and the team fighting looking immaculate at the end of the day.
And I just don't know where BLG was in this game and really the series.
Vici Gaming are going to do it in the end. BLG not showing up, but Vici with very, very clean gameplay and intelligent drafting as well. Playing to their win conditions, understanding how their compositions work.
Just very clean. They came together not only as individuals, but as a team. The macro was there. I liked a lot of the answered Abyssal Voyages coming out from Hung. Forge, of course, looking great. And this is a team we can be excited for in this split.
Really, really excited for what is to come here out of Vici Gaming, because, you know, I came in spring and Vici didn't have a good last year, you know, and Koma joins Vici Gaming. I'm like, all right, let's see what this team has. And they were so close to making playoffs, so close to glory. They finished in 9th place, but now in summer, maybe this is their chance, because that was a really clean series from them, and it was a lot cleaner than most.
Again, good, smooth macro and shot calling. It's still not there in the terms of it could be like a bit faster, could be a bit more aggressive, but all the right steps are being made. Yeah. It's how can you not be excited to see how this team continues to develop?
And the ultimate question will end up being, how do they do when teams like FPX, teams like Top Esports, teams like JDG are going to pressure them? How do they deal with that pressure when it comes to the top teams? So let's take another look at the draft here. And honestly, one of the things that was in favor of BLG that I liked was this Bard. The Bard pick is starting to really show why it's such a valuable pick, and I was impressed by Shinmo on it as well.
We're definitely not seeing enough emphasis on the bottom lane laning phase to where Bard is really a detriment. So the fact that it can provide so much utility around the map, and we obviously have so many good mechanical players in the LPL, they're able to utilize it to the fullest extent. Definitely agree.
And Shinmo completely denying both Heralds as well with his Tempered Fates in the mid lane. Really nicely done. Forge, just look at his damage, right? 21,000. Remember that early on fight? He did 5.5. He did a quarter of his entire damage from that game in that 15-minute team fight or 20-minute team fight, whenever it was, around the bottom side of the map. So Forge looking amazing, and it was all off the back of basically 2 team fights.
Yeah, Forge looked great. And even Cube, we saw high damage there as well, looking good. And the word we can just keep using with this team is potential, because they have a lot of young players, a lot of inexperienced players who have nowhere to go but up.
And I think one of the big questions will be, are they going to be able to be consistent here? And how much are they able to convert this into future wins? Because, again, like you rightly say, they do play very, very slow. And when some of the other teams... I mean, there are other teams in the LPL that aren't top teams. Teams like Rogue Warriors, it doesn't matter whether they're a top team. They're going to put pressure on you. And Vici, for me, the big question will be, can they deal with that kind of pressure? Are they going to be able to weather the storm and get to these late game
Because
matchups?
We've seen now that against BLG, maybe against teams like LNG, even EDG, these teams that do take it a bit slower, a bit step by step, they can probably do well. Against a Suning, maybe can do well, but against even these more bloodthirsty bottom teams, a team like Victory 5 that's on the up and up, how are Vici going to react? But I'm excited to see because, again, mechanically, on an individual level, they stack up against anyone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you bring up the conversation of V5, I have no idea. Like, off of that series against DMO, I am now completely bemused on where on earth V5 stand in this league, because they had no wins last split. Now suddenly they just dominate DMO. I'm excited for what they have to hold, but I have no idea how they match up against Vici.
That's definitely true. But you know, another thing this series kind of answers is another reason maybe why they're not using Lil Yen yet. Because Ike's does have great synergy with Forge, and Forge is such a key player on this roster, so why break that up when Ike's is willing to do, the dirty work and the heavy lifting to get the team where it needs to go?
I think as well, I'm excited